Hello everyone, this is me Jeet and welcome to my channel. In today's episode, we will be talking about something which we all deal in our day-to-day life. It is something which effectively hampers our physical as well as mental health, and this is stress. Yes, my friends, stress is something which causes chronic problems in our life. It causes anxiety, it causes depression, it also causes lots of physical ailments also. In today's world, stress is one of the major reasons for the growing amount of health issues. In today's world, stress is one of the most important and most vital reasons for the increasing amount of diseases in human beings. Stress is something which relates to our personal as well as professional life. In our personal front, we face with various situations that can cause stress. And yes, definitely in our professional life, whether someone is a student or an employee or a businessman or anything, stress is something which happens to everyone. Friends, in today's world, our life is so complicated. Our life has become so busy. Our life has become so problematic that we hardly get any time for ourselves. We tend to devote our whole time, devote our whole freedom to our work. And that is why this problem of stress occurs. 4 or 5 who is just 4 or 5 years old taking stress? No. Stress comes to us when our mind gets occupied with various things like our job, like our career, like our education, like peer pressure, pressure from students, pressure from parents, pressure from friends, pressure from co-workers, pressure from boss, pressure from the society, pressure from everything. We tend to get so much occupied with these kind of things that we forget that our mental health is getting affected on a daily, regular basis. Friends, you have seen that nowadays lots of mental health care centers, lots of rehab centers are being established all over the world because it is something which is caused all over the world. People are suffering from this problem throughout the world, be it in advanced countries, be it in developed countries, in developing countries, everywhere. In fact, in developed countries, in highly developed countries like US, Europe, or Japan or Dubai, the level of stress is much more because the quality of life demands that level of stress in those countries. Even in our country, nowadays people are facing with lots of stress in work, in college, in life, in home, everywhere. Friends, in this episode, we will be talking about some time-tested, practical habits or ways by which this menace of stress can be reduced. Friends, the first and foremost way to stop stress, to deal with stress, to reduce stress is physical activity. I know that physical exercise is something which we all don't love. Some of us really do, some of us don't. But physical activity is very important. Exercise is very important. Even if you are not doing exercise, at least a brief walk, at least some stretches, these are also come in great way to help you in dealing with stress. You don't need to be, a bodybuilder, or you don't need to build a six-pack abs for this thing. You just need 25 to 30 minutes of physical activity on a daily basis. Maybe you can take stairs instead of elevator. Maybe you can go for a walk in the morning or in the evening. Maybe you can play a game of football or tennis with your friends. These kind of things really help in reducing stress. And nowadays we know that physical activity is so much important for your overall development, for your overall well-being. And the next thing which will come immediately after proper exercise is proper diet. Friends, in our busy schedule, in our busy life, it is very important for us to maintain a proper diet. We hardly get time to prepare food for ourselves. We have a habit of ordering food from online. We have a habit of eating junk food, especially at lunch or sometimes at dinner also. And this unhealthy junk food, they really increases lots of bad hormones in us, lots of bad elements. This kind of junk food, this kind of unhealthy food, they tend to create lot of bad elements, bad hormones in our life. They tend to create lot of bad hormones, bad elements in our body, and which naturally create stress. This highly processed, unhealthy junk food, they may be very tasty to eat, definitely. They are made like this only. But this kind of food are really bad for us, for our body, for our mind also. So we have to take care of that. Another important thing, another important practice which helps us to reduce stress is the habit of reading book. My friends, some people call a book a man's best friend. It is true. After a hard day's work, after a stressful day, you can take a book, you can take your favorite coffee, and you can enjoy reading it. And this will take all the stress out of you. So it is very important to develop this habit of reading book. You can choose any topic, you can choose any book. You don't need a Booker Prize winning book or a Pulitzer Prize winning book for you to start. You can take a very simple one and you can start reading. Every day, after a day's work, after a hard working day, you can take a book and you can enjoy reading it with your family, with yourself also. So it is very important, and this habit definitely goes in a long way in reducing the stress level in us. Now the next thing that I'll be discussing, the next way by which stress level can be reduced, is a habit which we are totally accustomed to. We are totally habituated. It is very difficult for us to do this, reducing our addiction of phone. Yes, my friends, nowadays, in today's world, maybe we can stay without food or water, but we can't stay a single moment without our phones. We are so much addicted. We are so much addicted to our phones that if we suddenly lose our phone, if we find that our phone has lost suddenly, crazy. When one day's internet gets cut due to some government issues, we tend to get so much horrible. Our situation becomes so horrible. Not only young people, but children, senior citizens, everyone is so much addicted to phones. So it is a habit that needs to be reduced, because when we are watching something continuously on our phones, our brains gets a lot of stress, a lot of negative elements happens in our brains. So if we want to keep our mind, our body and our brain happy, peaceful, then we must develop this habit of reducing our phone addiction. You can fix a certain time every day in which you will see your phone, you will go through your phone. Otherwise, you can keep your net off, by which obviously we know that today without internet a phone is nothing. In today's world, without internet a phone is nothing. So you can keep your internet shut for long hours. You have to develop a habit of keeping your internet mode off, and you have to set a time every day that at this particular time only, for this particular time only, I will watch YouTube, I will stay online on Facebook or Twitter or WhatsApp or whatever. If someone can develop this habit of controlling oneself, if someone can become successful in controlling oneself from this addiction of phone, then that person can achieve a lot of success in life. Because in today's world, our greatest problem because of which we are losing focus is our phone only. When you will start practicing this habit of keeping your phone off or keeping your internet off, initially you will feel a lot of problems. You will not be able to stay peacefully because your attention, your focus will be on your phone only. Gradually feel that yes, you have the ability, you have the power to control yourself from using your phone. Instead of just looking all the time at your phone, you can do something productive like reading a book, like practicing a musical instrument, like learning a new language, like talking to your friends and family, so on and so forth. But this phone addiction, this addiction of phone should be controlled if we want to reduce the level of stress in our life. Another important way by which we can reduce the level of stress in our life is to keep a balance between our professional and personal life. Suppose you are in college, you had a fight with one of your friends, or the teacher has rebuked you, teacher has said angrily a lot of things to you. So if you come home thinking about all these things, then your mental peace will be disturbed and a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress will come into your life. So it is important for every one of us to keep our professional life. It is important for all of us to keep all the problems and worries of our professional life into our office, into our school, into our college only, not to bring all of them into our homes. Suppose you have had a bad day at work, but you have to remember that all the bad things that happen to you during work is related to your professional life. You don't need to bring anything to your home. When you will be at home, you will be at peace. You will think about the things that are needed to be done in your home, not those things which are related to your professional life. You don't need to think all these things. That will come when you will go to your office only. So this is very important. Otherwise, our stress level will get increased day by day and it will be very difficult for us to control ourselves. Last but not the least, friends and family. A person who has caring and loving friends and family with him or her is a very lucky one. Because at the end of the day, it is important for us to relieve our stress. When we talk with our friends, with our close relatives, with our loved ones, we feel a lot of happiness inside. It creates a lot of positive vibes in us. So always be connected with your close friends, with your close relatives, and obviously with your loved ones. Because these people who are very close to our heart, they not only create a lot of happiness in us when we talk to them, but also they help in reducing the stress level. Suppose you are having a very stressful day. So after the day, you can talk to your friends, you can talk to your family about the day. So after a while, so after the busy day, when you are at home talking to your friend or talking to your parents about anything else other than your work, about anything, you will feel a lot of happiness, a lot of peace in your mind. So this is very important in order to reduce stress level in our body, in our life. So friends, these are some time-tested, practical ways by which we can reduce the level of stress in our life. And everyone will be benefited from these habits by implementing these habits in his or her life. So if you have liked the video, please do subscribe and remember to share. Thank you all.